Watercolor glazes, we've been doing over 10 years. It's become our most popular glaze line. It's incredibly beautiful, transparent. It really reflects the name. It looks like water. It's the glaze that we use primarily for polychrome. It layers nicely and has a great transparency, even on the layered parts. They flow off the high surfaces because they're so fluid. It makes the high surfaces lighter, and then where the glazes flow down then becomes darker, so there's this whole pooling effect. Well, polychrome glaze is really the same glazes, they're just layered. Depending on whether it's matte or gloss, the color's applied either below or on top of the cover coat. For a long time, it was all painted on material. Lately, we've gotten into this bulbing and filling of areas. They're more single-level applications and a little more predictable. We don't use special paints to paint on top of them. They really are just layered glazes. The Hourglass was our original glaze. It was where we started. It's a transparent gloss glaze. It's not as clear as the watercolor. We use it all the time on relief material. It also pools. It's darker in the recesses than on the high points. It tends to be more predictable than some of the other ones because it's so stable. Parchment matte is the matte version of the R glaze. In fact, a lot of the colors match. It's a smooth, blemish-free matte. The parchment matte is very opaque, and whether it's on a high spot or a low spot, it's a very opaque material. The satin is really in between the parchment matte and any of the gloss glazes. It has more sheen to it, but it has a lot more transparency to it, and so even when you put it on a relief material, you do get a sense of light and dark. Metallic glazes they're very tricky and hard to produce. Because the metallic component is actually part of the glaze. There's another type of metallic where it's applied on top of the glaze, which is very fragile, and we don't do that. It's just not durable enough. We do it where the glaze itself, under certain conditions, turns metallic. It's one of the more difficult things to develop. The other glaze line we produce we call the Craftsman glaze line. It's in the arts and crafts tradition, and it's meant to be very rangy. It's a rustic matte. In one color, it can range from green to yellow, and that's exactly what we want it to do. We want it to be not uniform. We want it to show the characteristics of a handcrafted material. And we'll take on custom glaze requests. It keeps us always researching new materials and applications for those materials.